As he stated, there are 61 total, so not everyone is here on the stream. We'll be letting you know how it's going. We're starting off, though.
Yep, and here we start. Looks like got a little bit of change. Some bombs in Sanctuary, and we got a heart container in Link's house.
Nothing too interesting off the bat, but we are going to see some divergence here between the two, obviously. Some checking up top, some checking, going ahead and checking maybe escape. Definitely Uncle.
Yep, get some information. Tier 1 tree pulls just some hearts. It was a really quick map check. I thought I saw all crystals, though.
Getting a boomerang off the old Uncle. Sadly, it's a shiny boomerang, not necessarily my favorite. And the crab has hearts.
Very healthy seed as far as that, then. Oh, the power glove.
That could come in handy pretty quick, and looks like the lumberjack tree just has a heart, so hopefully we don't have to go into that delightful tower in the center of the map.
Yep, nobody wants to run Aga Tower. But Shisame getting the early power glove is going to make that play into the back of escape. And then Ban's going to follow suit.
Ooh, looks like then inside the Thieves Cave we get the bow, and ooh, red cane in the back.
Yep, Cane of Samaria and the bow are going to be our first weapons. So very big finds early, especially that bow, because that's one of those items that, you need it to complete the seed, but it can really be in a lot of locations depending on where the pendants and crystals end up.
Very much, and typically when you see, at least in my experience, when you see Eastern Palace or Pod as a crystal, you don't tend to see bow very early, but this does open up the possibility of completing a fair amount of Eastern Palace, if not the complete thing, if they decide to sequence break without a lamp.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Chisame walked by the bow, it looked like, but we did have a pearl in Blind's hut. Yeah, Chisame definitely going to be going back for that one.
that's got to sting just a little bit to just have that knee-jerk reaction to go ahead and jump and realize, oh, I needed that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think that's something you're going to skip. Alright, just some rupees so far in the well.
Oh, but there's the lamp. That definitely opens up Eastern Palace to be completed.
Yep, and I actually would not be surprised to see some of our runners actually go right to the eastern area now, instead of checking South Shore first.
Given the setup they've gotten, that would be a pretty wise decision. You're going to have a lot more items up in that area with Sahasrah's hut combined in with it.
And the most important part is we don't have to deal with dark rooms anymore.
Depending on who you ask, that's not too big of a problem.
Yep, it looks like the bottle merchant has our first shield.
Faraime doing one of my favorite tricks in the game, which is throwing a chicken to an exploding wall.
Yep, the famous chicken clip, and getting a lot of bombs from the chest so far. We'll see if they decide to actually buy bombs, if they end up having the rupees, because after paying off the bottle merchant, not a lot of rupees left.
Given how many they have, I wouldn't bother, to be honest. They really only need to bomb 2 more areas if they're going to complete the typical beginning Light World track, and that's, of course, Mini Moldurm Cave and Sahasrah's hut. and the race if need be.
Also, Ice Rod Cave if they check that.
And see, this is why I'm a bad player.
Yep, and Chisame having to get some more rupees to pay the bottle merchant off. And we'll see what the race game has, because Farame is going to be blind checking it.
Didn't seem like a good idea.
Nope, just the 5 rupees. Gonna pick up that hard container, and we'll see where he goes off with the bow and lamp in hand. It looks like Eastern to me.
Straight shot to it, not a bad play. And of course, going to go down here and check and see what's on the Lake Hylia Island.
Quick jump shows that hard container. Making use of that bow and killing some of those enemies gets 20 rupees, which probably not going to be sad to see right now. And I mean, you can argue either play right now. Going up, green pendant's going to be swamp. But you can argue either play, because South Shore does have more items. However, Eastern is a crystal, and almost feels like the logic is pushing you here right now. We get some flippers in the red shield in Becca Sahashlu's hut, though. So that'll help that South Shore check. You can go check Zora's area if you want to without fake flipper.
I had to do a quick count in my head, but yeah, you're right. South Shore would have a total of 7 items counting Ice Rod Cave, correct?
It would be 8. We've got the 5 in Mini Moldorm, 2 in the sewers, and then the 1 in Ice Rod. Which here we are getting that difference. 3 of our runners going into Eastern. Chisame is going to South Shore. First item in the dam is going to be 20 rupees.
And we've got almost a neck-and-neck race between Dr. Bob-tastic and Ninbon here. And Farame just a little bit ahead. Not too much, though.
Just a compass in that first chest and some soggy bombs in the dam.
Not sure how you're supposed to light those if they've been underwater for quite some time, but Link finds a way.
Maybe they're like the legendary water bombs from the other Legend of Zelda. They just couldn't put those in.
That would make sense.
Alright, so Chisame going through the Mini Moldorm Cave. We got a heart container as our first item in Eastern.
There's where all the money's hiding.
Yep, there's more, and yep, definitely. Mini Moldorm Cave, there's where all your money is.
Now that makes me curious, because if I was playing in this, now, once I would have had the flippers and then come down here and find that amount of money, considering Zora is just a quick warp pull away, would you make a Zora play? I feel
definitely.
Ninbon and Dr. Bob-tastic just keeping the pace with each other. It's really impressive to see them synced up like this.
Yep, sync is real. I believe that's our second item out of Eastern right now.
Yeah, it would be the second by my count.
So we'll either see the third item back here in the vanilla big key chest, or Armos is going to have it. Oh, the hammer, though, in Ice Rod Cave. And that is actually Dark World access as well.
And that's something I'm very curious about, seeing what Chisame is going to do. And it looks like Chisame is going to go straight for Dark World and not check Eastern. We'll see if this is a good play to make or not here really soon.
Yep, 20 bucks. Let's see. Pendants, we've got Skull Woods and Meyer were our other pennants. I believe I saw Ice Palace is our, yep, Ice Palace is other 5-6.
There we go. And so since Red Rupee was the third item in Eastern, really the only thing of value gleaned from over here in the Eastern side of things would be the flippers in Sahasrah's hut. So Shisame may be taking a sneaky lead here for the time being, anyway.
Yeah, I think the only reason it would hurt Chisame right now is if something was on Zora's ledge.
Yeah. There's the book in the hut cave.
Yeah, so as far as items, Eastern Palace could be considered a bust, but they would have to complete this anyways, so they were going to need to come in here to clear it. About the only time you would really save is if, Chisame would find the mirror, and then could combo Pod and Eastern together at that point.
I was about to say, speaking of Pod, Chisame does have the means to clear it, and looks like that's exactly where they're going.
Yep, don't blame them at all. It's a crystal, 5 items in there, and you can full clear it within logic. Why not? Almost drops that map, and we get the crystal. Yes, Hammer is in the Ice Rod Cave. Alright, Farame is going to save and quit. Ninban is not, because I believe he did not check Sahasrah yet. Key in that first chest here in Pod. And Ninban's going to get their red shield and the flippers.
All the time, Gamer Blue, all the time.
So Farame checking this is going to get some power gloves in the chest. Red boomerang there. And Dr. Bobtastic and Ninban making their way to the South Shore. And Pod living up to its reputation, nothing but keys in the front.
To be fair, I feel it has to be that way, lest you risk getting stuck in the back.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, between the bow-locked chests as well as the other chests that you have available, 4 of those chests have to be keys where you can key lock.
I definitely remember in previous versions having that happen to me. Just saying.
Alright, and Farame actually going into the escape itself at this point, so we have not seen this yet.
And also, just saying here, Shisame may need to be a little bit more careful with their arrows, as it is, well, no, they do have the hammer, so it's not necessarily the only weapon they have, but could be running low.
Yep, picks up those 10 from the pots, though. Ninban getting all the money. Farame getting a piece of heart here, so we got one more chest. And Dr. Bob also going to. And interesting, we'll see if Ninban goes up to Zora now.
Looks like they're going to be. At the very least, I'd say they're checking Fairy Cave, but given how much money they have, they would definitely want to go ahead and check.
Yeah, and after this, we'll see where he goes, because it's putting him off in Ice Rod Cave, which is necessary. We've got that hammer sitting there, but looks like it.
A tunic. It's going to help with some defense.
Yeah, that'll help. But as far as the escape, I believe there's one item in the dark part. I could be wrong, but nothing major in the first part of Escape.
Now, I don't believe Ninban checked the hobo, but Dr. Bob Tastic is.
Yep, he did not, so we'll see this.
Blue Boomerang, nothing critical, but useful.
Alright, Chain of Samaria. So Farame is going to go into the dark section of the sewers because he knows that there is an item here now. Finding the map in Zelda's chest. Got the 10 bomb upgrade. The 10 bomb drop in pod.
Yeah, Ninban just found a bee in a bottle from Zora, so unless Sick Boy is holding something really nice, maybe not the best of items to find.
No, not at all. Alright, and Dr. Bob is making the play towards Ice Rod Cave, so he's about to get his hammer. Gonna have to be careful with these crabs, though, at 1.5 hearts.
Oh, certainly. And looks like Ninban is doing the same, taking the water on up. Or no, Ninban's heading towards the hobo. I got confused for a second.
Yeah, and from the looks of it, there was nothing. I missed it, but I didn't see anything new on our tracker on Farame's side in the dark area, unless something happened, because he's dropping back down there. Oh, nope, he's setting up Houlihan. That's what he's doing. Which he might feel a little bad about, because you know he's doing this to set up Zora. Because he's going to go south side, but he's going to check that mini Moldorm cave and be like, I didn't need to do this at all.
Yep.
Alright, Chisame taking a Death Warp there.
Yeah, sadly realizing that they did not have the big key to open up that chest.
Oh, Ninban making the play back to the Ice Rod Cave, about to get that hammer. Yes, Dr. Bob did get the hammer.
Oh, I guess Shisame does have the big key and just accidentally blew themselves up before they can open up the chest. That is unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of a time waste there, but...
Oh,
setting up the Death Warp and you get the piece of heart that gives you a heart refill.
that's painful to see sometimes.
So Dr. Bob having Dark World access at this point, or maybe he doesn't? Oh, no, he's checking a triple. Oh, 8 bomb drop there. Thought Dr. Bob had already been in here, but apparently not.
I swore he had too, because the red boomerang is marked.
Yeah, red boomerang's marked. Oh,
apparently they hadn't, so he did not have red boomerang or mitts.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it's like he's got to have Dark World access. That's what's showing, but no, there's his Dark World access. So currently, the only runner that we can see that does not have Dark World access right now is Farame, which hopefully we'll go to that Ice Rod Cave soon and get that hammer.
It's almost as if Farame could hear you.
It's possible. I know, yep, Ninban checked Hype Cave, so we've got their book. We're going to get our first check on Pyramid here. And Dr. Bob's going to check the front of his gate, which we know nothing major here.
Just a couple of bombs.
Yep, gonna say nope to those, and we'll see if Ninban decides to go to Pod or if he's going to head up to Catfish. Looks like Pod. Meanwhile, Ferme gets their hammer. Shisame's making their way through the dark crab room, gets through it.
So, seeing as how everyone has been split and heading all sorts of different directions, I've not been able to pay attention to Shisame the entire time. Did they find every single item in Pod so far, or is it a possibility that our good friend Helmasar here has the last item?
I believe we are missing one item on Pod, so I think Helmasor does have something.
All right, well, hopefully we will see that here shortly. And it looks like Ninban's going ahead and heading on in. So they'll be the next one to get the clear pod.
Down goes Helmasor King. No damage taken.
A very, very well done fight considering the lack of silvers to make this fight easier. And just a piece of heart.
Because the game just wants to treat you like that.
But, to be fair, that is Shisame's first crystal. And sadly, I didn't find the mirror in here to make hopping over to EP easier, but that's a relatively short dungeon anyway.
Yeah, I think that's what they were hoping for, but I'm not getting that. Firame doing some more light world checks, does have dark world access. Just going to check Zora here. Dr. Bob checking the back. He's about to get his Canis Samaria.
Now, were you Shisame, where would you want to go next? Dungeon-wise. I'm thinking might possibly be a good idea to maybe check out Skull Woods. Granted, it is a pendant, but there is usually something of value there, and then head on down to Thieves Town.
Yeah, I know a lot of the runners, especially with V29, they've stopped doing early wood skull checks because, V28, Skullwood's always had value, and now it's not always as likely anymore. So, but definitely Thieves Town is a good idea. You got 4 items just in Thieves Town plus the 3 in Village of Outcasts, and you can complete the dungeon. Also, yeah, Desert. Well, Desert potentially can be completable. Depends on key placement inside right now. Maybe Boots locked. But first check on Agonine, we've got nothing there.
And it does, I would think that Shisame is about to go at least take a quick peek inside a Desert Palace to make this trip at least not completely worthless.
Yeah, that would be the only thing that would make sense, because if you're going to come check Agona's Cave and you've got the book, you're going to check Desert too, because that's, compared to where else you can go, it seems a little bit of a waste of time. But, potentially 2 items in here, or even a cleared crystal dungeon.
Possibly. Now, there's only a piece of heart on the ledge, so right now Shisame's really got to be hoping that this dungeon is not boots locked.
Yeah, and I believe that was our first check on Sick Kid, just having a piece of heart. So Zora giving us the safety with the bottle, but not much else. And
Ooh!
the hook shot, so he's going to decide to leave because he knows that this dungeon is key locked at this point. So we are going to need boots to complete this seed, but that opens up all of Death Mountain on the Light World. So that was a major play on Shisame's side.
Absolutely.
And Dr. Bob looks like he might be going to Skullwoods. Maybe we'll change his mind seeing the pendant, but nope, it's going to go anyways.
I'm going to go ahead and make that play as Shisame is opting to go ahead and climb Death Mountain and get all of the goodies therein.
Yeah, and I completely agree with the play there. It's like you've got that, especially you're thinking a race like this with 60 people, you kind of have to, those big plays you make, you kind of just have to keep going with them and hope they keep going. And, with Death Mountain, we're looking at 12 items. We've got 2 in Hera, 7 in Paradox, the Spiral Cave, Old Man, and Spectacle Rock. So yeah, 12 items here.
Yeah, and not to mention one of your 5/6 crystals. Oh,
That
yeah.
is that as well. But Ninban purposely dying there, taking the Death Warp. For am I going to follow into Pod? Yeah, we did have a vanilla big key in Skull Woods, so 2 potential items here. We got 4 chests we can check now. There's one of our items.
Spectacle not having that much up on Death Mountain.
Ooh, almost gets the bomb. Just gonna have to be careful. Only has one more try at the bomb jump. Now you've got no tries unless you want to die. We'll take the death with the fall there, but we'll just pretty much show right back up in the same room with some health. Alright, and Paradox Cave, 7 items in here. Well, there's a big one, and another big one, a sword and the flute.
There we go. Looks like this was indeed a good play to make.
Yep, I mean, still maybe something in Thieves Town, but a big play. There's another bottle with green goo, 20 rupees, piece of heart, 10 arrows, and a 5 arrow upgrade, and the big chest there in Skullwoods just had a compass.
I always love this bomb jump that Shisame just did there. Just it saves a decent amount of time, but it's just so much fun to do those bomb jumps whenever you're able to.
Yeah, that's one of the easier bomb jumps because it almost seems when you're setting that corner up that corner just kind of sucks your sprite in and doesn't let you walk off unless you just completely hold the controller like you're trying to fall off.
Oh, absolutely. If you're new to randomizer, or if you're interested in running NMG, because that trick could be used in NMG as well. Well, actually, I don't believe you even need to go over there in NMG now that I think about it. But still, that particular jump, all you have to do is make sure the shadow of your sprite, if you are using a sprite with a shadow, covers the corner, and then just drop the bomb and you're good. Really, really easy one to start learning bomb jumps on.
Yep, and all right, Ninban gets King Helmsword down. Was trying to do some hammer strats there. Very difficult to do without having a sword to kind of extend your range. Dr. Bob leaving Skullwoods doesn't. Looks like he actually found mitts in Skullwoods.
I'm telling you, the Skullwoods play can be good sometimes.
Yep, and big key there in Tower of Hera. So maybe not having to go to the basement. Yeah, at this point, I expect Dr. Bobtastic to clear out Village of Outcasts. Check the 3 items here. Head into Thieves Town. Piece of heart there in the C-shaped house. Gonna get a bomb jump here from Chisame. Makes it right away with a quick setup. Gets the key, which you don't want to see in Hera.
Sadly not, but nevertheless, that was still a very impressive jump from Chisame, I will add, because that is kind of a scary jump to make, because if you fail, you're falling 2 floors, and nobody wants to walk back up 2 floors in this dungeon.
Nope, not at all. In Thieves Town so far, we got a piece of heart and a map. And Chisame gonna start their Trolldorm fight. It's gonna take 3 hits with that hammer. Almost gets taken down. But no trolling today on Chisame's side. And got the heart container. So I believe we don't need to check the basement, but we'll see.
No, shouldn't. There's only 2 items in Hera, and Shisami got both, so basement will do them no good whatsoever. Best to just go on. And they are.
Yep, gonna go check Spiral Cave. And Ninbad gonna make the play to Skullwoods as well, so won't find anything here, but in that front, gonna find those Titan Smiths.
Looks like Farame just had one of the more interesting accidents happen that always makes me chuckle when it happens to me. The little ledge that you're supposed to be able to jump off of in Pod. Instead, Farame just fell off of because it didn't want to work.
Yep, I can definitely say that's happened to me before.
First time it ever happened, it totally caught me by surprise. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that just happened. Okay. Spiral Cave, though, nothing. So, good play up Death Mountain. Did get the flute, which is huge, and the first sword. As well as got that bottle of green goo. So, more than likely going to head to, looks like he's heading Kakariko, is going to activate the flute, probably check Sick Kid as well, and then I'm expecting to head into the Dark World. And I just caught it there. Dr. Bobtastic finds value in Thieves Town as well. We've got a fire rod.
Very, very nice. Now, of course, Skullwood's not that big of a deal, other than, of course, it having the mitts hiding around in there. But probably don't want to have to clear it. However, we will need the fire rod alongside the ice rod to do one of my favorite dungeons, Turtle Rock. Oh, Trinex, how you are the bane of my existence.
Yes, the bane of every runner's existence, because they have to go find that item that can be anywhere it wants.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm sure we'll see that come into play at some point, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of it, as far as, we're getting a little bit into it, we're finding a lot of major items. We can clear, let's see, we can't clear desert, we need boots for desert. Ice Palace, we know where all the items are. None of the runners have everything, but Ice Palace is completable. And Turtle Rock, we would be missing a medallion, which we don't know what it is yet, and the ice rod. That's about it. So we're only missing 3 items, I think, to go to no mode.
I believe you're right. I'm gonna try to double check your math here as we continue on. It looks like Dr. Bobtastic is about to go say hello to one of the more interesting boss fights in the game.
Yep, the boss, that does not matter what weapon you have, he just needs 9 hits. He's going to go with Samaria strats, which I don't blame him having 2.5 hearts of health, and only a hammer. There's no sword yet. And only $20 in the chess game there.
I do believe Duke Firebird is correct. 4 items minimum remaining, that being boots, ice rod, whatever medallion opens up Turtle Rock, and a second sword upgrade.
Yes, the second sword. Dr. Baptastic taking his time with this fight. Gets him down at a half a heart, clutches the fight.
My heart would be pounding right now.
Same with mine. Gets the compass and that crystal, so that's going to be his second crystal. So, interesting thing to note, Shisami decided to come to Thieves Town first. Did skip Skull Woods. So is missing Titan's Mitts from there right now.
Do hope they go back eventually, because that is, kind of needed. At the same time, let me see
Oh,
here.
do you see what Furiyama is doing?
Rupee Horde.
Yep.
Oh,
Not what you want to see, though. Sorry, chat. Alright, so bombable hut, 5-arrow upgrade. So no Ega, no pedestal seed. Chat, you didn't get any of that.
But wait, any of those 4 items we mentioned a few minutes ago could be anywhere. Well, not really anywhere, but believe you me, with the way that V29 does like to have the hunt for the final item come to be a thing, there's still going to be plenty more race ahead for us.
Oh yeah, and been having a little bit of difficulty, it looked like, there in the Hellway.
It's always the worst place to get bodied, and I don't believe they have any sort of safeties in the bottle. I do believe Chisame still just has green goo and a bee, so they're going to be very, very careful with these grasshoppers.
Yep, on green mail, 1 hit will kill, so definitely don't want to take a death here.
I'm doing a smart thing by switching to... Oh!
Went for the stun, and I guess the magic boomerang doesn't stun those?
Apparently not. That is... I am so sorry.
Yeah, that hurts, because that's pretty much as deep into the dungeon as you can get, so it's going to have to walk back now. And I understand what he was doing. Chisame does know that the stun pack is a heart, so he's just trying to get some health.
Oh yeah, no, it was a smart play. It's just... I think they went for the blue boomerang. I think I saw them throw the blue boomerang. I don't think the blue one will stun those little guys.
Yeah, potentially.
And the hook shot actually will not stun the grasshoppers. The hook shot kills them straight out.
Yes, it does.
And while the hook shot can stun certain enemies and open them up to giving you the stun prize, it sadly will not give the stun prize if it is dealing the killing blow.
Yep, and down in 2 hearts again, so it's going to have to be careful.
Using the hammer.
Yep, not playing around with them, but Firame does get Titan's Mitts. Which we do know that Skull Woods is empty at this point, because we know we don't need that pendant. And we found both items, but Chisame gets Fire Rod.
And now I believe both Firame and Dr. Bob-tastic are just a hook shot away from having Ice Palace clearable.
So, apparently, Dr. Bob went into Thieves Town. And did he skip the big chest then? Because I didn't see them drop. But Ninban has boots. And chat's saying they were in Thieves Town.
Must have been. It looks like I'm getting a confirmation from the chat that he did indeed skip the big chest.
Alright, that's a huge, because he's gonna have to go back there then, because we know boots are required for this seed.
Oh yeah.
So Thieves Town holding a major amount of value with boots and Fire Rod.
One thing that's scaring me here is I'm also not seeing Chisame head that way.
Probably just grabbing blind first. It's usually what you do. I believe it saves 1 transition.
It does make a lot of sense.
Yep, there they are. Well, apparently he has ether? I missed where that was. Oh, ether from digging game. Okay. Alright, Chisame starting their blind fight.
Ninban's going to go ahead and give us a look and see what's inside Peg Cave and what Jeremiah the Bullfrog has in store for us. So hopefully we'll get to see some new items soon. Cross your fingers.
Yeah, and Chisame pretty much stays on script that whole fight. Does not take any damage.
That was a beautiful, beautiful blind fight. Wish I could do that.
And also very much enjoyed slashing to the music. Alright, so we'll see where the runners go. Ninban looks like it's going to check some boots locations. We're going to get a check on King's Tomb here. And finds the mirror.
Ooh, that is a really nice find. Well, actually, no, since Swamp Palace is not necessary. That's more... And yeah, they've already done Pod and Eastern, so yeah, that's not as big of a find.
Yeah, it's probably actually... Okay, Chisame gets Ether, but yeah, Mirror might be one of the worst things to actually find. Because it does unlock Swamp, and it's fully completable with where we know everything is, at least. That means it's in logic.
Oh, come on. You don't like a Swamp Palace dip?
I guess when I'm commentating, I don't mind it. When I'm playing it, if I don't have to go into Swamp Palace, I really don't want to.
That is completely
Quake.
fair.
Well, let's see. We had Quake on Old Stumpy there. That's where that ended up being.
Yeah, it does give some other places to check. That is very true. Graveyard Ledge, K45, Dark Death Mountain, and Checkerboard. Very good points to make.
Yeah, and Chisame, with that knowledge that able to complete Desert Palace finding those boots, is going to go do that right now. Smiths looked like it was nothing important.
Nah, just a red rupee.
So at this point then, we're looking for a sword, the ice rod, and potentially bombos.
Bob trying to play it safe here.
There's the big key in Desert Palace. Alright, and Firame is also going to get the boots, so gotta wonder if Dr. Bob maybe just miscounted his items, didn't think there was anything there.
It is a possibility. Who knows? I've ran plenty of rando where just the moment it gets to you and you're overthinking and you miss something. Happens to average runners like me, happens to amazing runners like Dr. Bob Tastic. So, who knows?
Yeah, well, see if we have interviews after the race. Maybe something we'll have to ask him, see what happened, but we'll find out.
And Farame going to be our third or our last runner here to fight blind. Let's see if they can do it quite as swaggy as Chisame did.
It takes a little bit of damage there, but pretty much still on script with the hammer.
Yeah, doing a hammer blind is a scary thing, and to have taken only 3 hits, that's good in my book.
Yeah, and we get the check on Purple Chest. It's just 20 rupees, and Ninban going to make the play over to Desert. We'll see if he decides to go in, though.
Definitely going to.
Yeah, so we'll be able to complete this dungeon first go around, but more importantly, going to pick up that hook shot, which gonna guess it's going to lead him to Death Mountain at that point.
lead him to Death Mountain, and then hopefully after that, because by my count, that should also give him everything he needs to do Ice Palace as well, if I'm not mistaken.
It does, and I think the most important thing is, and this we'll get a check on this because it's going to be, probably can't do that. There's his hook shot, but he already has mitts with the hook shot. He'll be able to check Dark Death Mountain as well, which we've got 6 more items we haven't seen.
Yes, and with that mirror, actually, that would be one of the better plays to make. I just noticed that the bonk animation for Ninban Sprite is like the circle crossed out. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, the mouse sprite, I won't ever use it myself because it's too confusing, but definitely great work on these sprites that we have. But the fight against Landmos on Shisame's side was a very, very nice fight. Farame gets the Quake.
The mitts were in Skullwoods.
Yep, Pendant Skullwoods holding mitts. Dr. Bob working on King Helmosaur here. Farame about to pick up their mirror. And Shisame's skipping King's Tomb right now, so going to check Lumberjack.
You're going to see that it's just a heart and be severely disappointed.
Yep, sees the heart. Dr. Bobtastic takes down King Helmosaur, gets crystal number 3.
Now, see, the thing here is, I don't think any of our runners here being restreamed have taken quite the same path through this seed. Everyone's kind of gone their own way and done this in their own order. And yet, at the same time, I'm looking at all 4 runners, and I'm unsure of who has the bigger advantage. It may lean a bit more towards Ninbon, since Ninbon's definitely going to be herded in the direction of Death Mountain and get to clear Dark Death Mountain at the same time. So we get to see a bit more. But still, I feel this could still be any of these runners' race to win at this point.
Yeah, I agree, because I mean, especially like we have to find that one item. So, somebody makes a gamble on where it is and it pays off. Yeah, big play there. But yeah, right now, if we kind of had to pick who might be in a slight lead, I would definitely say Ninban. He's going to pick up his 4th crystal here, be able to completely clear out Death Mountain, and that's going to be Hera, so that'll be a 5th crystal.
Now, Shisame is in Eastern Palace, but did Shisame do Sahasrah's hut? I don't believe so, because the flippers were in Sahasrah's hut, correct?
Yeah, plus Red Shield. So no, Shisame has actually not done Sahasrah yet. So we'll get flippers as well as Red Shield if he checks that afterwards.
And just right now, 2 major bits of backtracking that need to happen is Shisame needs to head back to Skull Woods to get those mitts, and Bobtastic needs to head back to Thieves Town to get those boots. Those are 2 major things working against those 2 runners.
Yeah, and we're going to get our first check on Catfish, I believe, here, but Ninban getting crystal number 4 there. And Chad, if you're wondering, because you've seen a couple of runners check the hammer pegs so far, if you've noticed that 2 of the runners who have checked it have not done the item dash that you're used to seeing if you have boots and the hammer, you do have to actually have a sword to be able to do the item dash, or it'll just bonk off of it. Catfish has a B-Torp. And Ninban, is he making a play to ice instead?
It looks... I'm not sure. I'm actually trying to go through my mind right now and figure out where exactly he's going.
I think he's going to pick potions up first. Because, I mean, if you think about it right now, Unless Turtle Rock is Bombos.
Mhm.
I mean, he's still looking for 2 swords as well, though, on his side. But you could potentially find the Ice Rod and your swords up on Death Mountain with as many items as you have. If you can clear Ice Palace, then you could go and clear Tower of Hera and Turtle Rock and be in go mode. Which we know we'll find at least a sword up there. So we know that's where the fighter sword is. But we'll see where else. But Shisame did take down Armos Knights and gonna get his 3 items back here. Farame heading into Desert's gonna pick up the hook shot.
And yeah, looks like Ninban's heading right to Ice Palace.
Yeah, alright.
So yeah, grabbing that extra bit of green goo there just to help out. Actually, no, you got blue, but just the extra mana, more or less, magic power. Because without Bombos, it's pretty much going to take almost an entirely full bar of magic to use the Fire Rod to break Cold Stare. And without a sword, Ninban's really going to want to be able to use that Ice Rod on the puffballs that follow.
Yeah, no sword, you'd have to do hammer. Plus, only at 9 hearts with blue mails, those puffballs hit like a truck still.
Oh, absolutely. I do believe they would still do about 3 damage, 3 hearts per hit.
I believe it is 3 hearts, so yeah, that's, you know, you only can survive 2 hits if you're at full health. Alright, we'll see Ninban making their way. Probably going to see the Ice Palace bomb jump here. Dr. Bob is going to be going into Desert himself now. We'll pick up the hook shot as well. He's going to clear this dungeon out. Actually, no, he won't be able to clear this dungeon out. He needs boots.
He needs boots. He will at least get the hook shot. Ninban doing that bomb jump like a pro, one of my favorite ones to do. Simply because it's not the hardest bomb jump, but it definitely has a good degree of skill involved with it.
Yep, and Dr. Bob, there's the hook shot. Should know at this point that this is key locked. And just a quick shout out really quick, we'll have a little bit of downtime between all of our runners. Shout out both to Merc249 and B-Links for doing the tracking for us for all 4 of these runners. A lot of difference in the routes, not easy to track when it's like this.
Oh, hands down, definitely one of the hardest jobs to do for these streams. I mean, commentary can get hectic, sure, and running these matches, of course, takes a lot of skill to be doing what these guys are doing, but to track 4 different runners, especially when they have diverged as much as these runners have, major props out to Merc249 and B-Links. They are doing amazing work.
All right, and Farame takes down the Land Molus, gets crystal number 4, and I missed this. We actually both missed this. Chat caught it for us, though. Bombos tablet was checked. That's where the Ice Rod is sitting.
Ooh, so we definitely, well, we already knew that we're going to need a Master Sword, bare minimum anyway, for Ganon. But now we would definitely want to find it sooner rather than later so that we can knock out that pesky Turtle Rock in the end.
Well, yeah, and I think the most important part to know then, if, you know, I'm sure we're going to see a check on it soon. But when we get the first check on Turtle Rock, which I think is going to come up on Dr. Bob Tassik's side here shortly, if it's not Bombos, we are a sword away from go mode.
Very true.
well, a sword away on
No
Chisame's
mode.
side, because that's the only one that has a sword. But yeah, it would be no mode if it's if they find the sword that Chisame has not or has found. But Chisame's gonna check the back here. Missing the mirror still there. Dr. Bob finally gets his first sword. And the flute.
And that would be a special kind of cruel, knowing that Ice Rod is locked behind the Bombos tablet, to have the sword upgrades on Turtle Rock Laser Bridge. Would indeed be a special kind of cruel.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So Dr. Bob doing the bomb jump here. Nimban's still making their way through. Haven't seen anything major out of Ice Palace yet. Dr. Bob checking the floating island. So this is where we're going to get a little bit of a difference as far as routing, especially in between Dr. Bobtastic and Farame. Farame with that mirror is going to be able to route Death Mountain a lot cleaner, not having to just completely clear out the light world before having to go back to the dark world at that point. Can just kind of jump into the dark world and start mirroring all over the place to pick everything up.
Very, very true.
Takes down one of those puffballs.
As you have to go in with a hammer for the other two, it looks like. You gotta be very, very careful. Oh! Very nice double kill!
And the mirror shield. Which is kind of important to note because we haven't found or seen Cane of Burna or the cape yet, so that mirror shield actually does put Laser Bridge into logic now.
So knowing that, it does appear as though Ninban is about to head right on up to Death Mountain. As soon as that Hylian guard leaves him alone.
Yeah, the guard harassing.
He's a very important mouse cursor with important places to click.
Yeah, and I've never seen that on Chisame's side, but it looks like the duck flew right by Chisame and just did not pick Chisame out. It's like, nope, don't have time for you today. But down goes Trolldorm on Dr. Bobtastic's side. Ooh, so we've got some red mail and silvers in the Super Bunny Cave.
Very nice Super Bunny Cave indeed. I would not be disappointed to see that.
Not at all, especially considering, you're almost an hour into the seed. You're still sitting at this point, 9 hearts. And, Turtle Rock is Bombos, though.
Ooh, Bombos? Now, there's been plenty of times I've seen it happen to where you see what the medallion needed to get into Turtle Rock is. You go do Hookshot Cave and the medallion's in Turtle Rock. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for Farame there that Bombos is in Hookshot Cave. We'll see about that here very, very shortly.
Yeah, we're going to find out, so... There's our sword, though. No Bombos yet.
No Bombos, but still a very important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, because at that point, Farame is now Bombos from Go Mode.
Bombos, well, yeah. Bombos and Ice Rod. However, Farame was the one that checked the tablet.
Yep, Farame is the only one of them that have actually checked that tablet, so they have that knowledge. At this point, they just need Bombos.
Mm-hmm. But the million-dollar question is, where is it hiding? We've now seen every single crystal dungeon cleared by someone or another besides Turtle Rock. So it's either overworld or we are probably looking at a Swamp Palace dip.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's checked the Mire area itself, though.
Very true. But I keep thinking back to what you were talking about with finding that mirror, particularly early, and what that meant for opening up Swamp Palace, and maybe.
Yeah, very potential that that's what the mirror's for. And it's a green pendant too, so you're looking at 7 items inside of Swamp Palace right now. So it's kind of hard to say no to. And especially with, Farame, I could see going to Ice Palace first, routing in the Big Bomb with the Pyramid Fairy. But then at that point, you know where the Ice Rod is, go pick up the Ice Rod and just head right into Swamp, since you're in the area.
And looks like Ninbon's about to join Farame in that, hey, I'm just going to be a Bombos and an Ice Rod away from getting it done. However, Ninbon doesn't have the added benefit of knowing where the Ice Rod is.
Yeah, that's the major difference, is that knowledge is, in Randomizer, knowledge is power. So, if you can make checks and they're not out of the way, then you definitely want to think about it, because if it's that item, then you know what you're looking for, and especially something like the Ice Rod.
And yes, you do need the level 2 sword, aka the Master Sword, bare minimum to damage Ganon. And even though the Master Sword is the Sword of Evil's Bane, a simple slash will actually not harm Ganon when you're using the Master Sword. You do have to do a sword spin. Only the Tempered Sword and higher can damage Ganon on a standard swipe.
Yep, and Chisame picking up the mirror. Down goes Troll Arm for Farame. Looks like Ninban's probably going to be heading in right after him.
And Chisame giving us that first Mire look, so let's see. Bombos is hiding around in here. Did we catch? I didn't get to look long enough. What was Mire?
It looked like Quake to me.
Okay, so could be a Mire dip that's holding. Oh, there's a Tempered.
There's Tempered.
So yeah, it could be a Mire dip just as much as it could be a Swamp Palace dip at this point in time. I do believe both dungeons are fully clearable.
It is, and it would be a little surprising to see Chisame jump into Mire before going into Ice Palace being a fully completable crystal dungeon.
Oh, I don't think they would at all, no.
Oh, the mushroom, though. In the Checkerboard Cave.
To be fair, I would much rather Bombos be hidden behind the mushroom than in a pendant dungeon, to be fair.
True. That's true, and we're getting a check from Farame. We have not seen this. Spike Cave. Just $20 though. You decided to tank it with some potions. So I think at this point Chisame's probably thinking about checking some mirror locations. We're getting a pedestal check from Chisame. We know it's a rupee hoard. Down goes Trolldorm for Ninban at that point. So that is crystal number 6.
Question is, where does Ninban go from here?
So, I mean, if you're thinking, most amount of items, then you would head to the swamp area. If you're thinking like the quickest to check, more than likely you'd go to the mire area. Because you've got the 3 quick items there, and then you can kind of make the decision, which, this is going to give you temperate, so even if that's all you do, the time you spend is you're going to save on Ganon.
Oh, absolutely.
Not to mention, you do have a hammer for Trinex, but having a tempered sword makes that fight so much easier than having to try to use the hammer.
Yeah, one of my biggest fears actually in this game is not, having to do a Master Sword Ganon or a Silverless Ganon. It's having to do a hammer with no half magic Trinex. That is what I'm the most afraid of in this game.
Yep, and let's Dr. Bobtastics, he's going to make the mire play.
I mean, it'll be a great play if this is where Quake is, if this is where Bombos is hiding. But I'm still on that platform of saying, Bob, go back to Thieves Town, please. Please, Bob.
Yep, it's definitely going to need to do that at some point. And for Ame, we're going to get that check on the mushroom. Butter sword.
Better than nothing, I suppose.
Yeah, not gonna say no to it. Although, I'm pretty sure he did, but I didn't catch it. Did he do a fake powder glitch?
I do not believe he did.
Alright, Ninban, yep. Picking up the ice rod first, knows he's gonna need it.
Bacon's sword was in the mire shed, so the 4th and final upgrade was of, as you just saw, in the potion shop.
Alright, so we've got the ice rod on Ninban's side, so just kind of blindly checking it, he finds his ice rod.
Yeah, so he gets his ice rod, and now this is actually a pretty good spot to maybe check and see where Bombos is Pyramid Fairy. Maybe.
Yeah, that would be the best situation.
Very well done on Ninban there. I just caught that he used a damage boost to be able to dash while keeping the bomb behind him.
Alright, yeah, and Chisame is doing the fake powder, so I'm not sure if Farame did it. If not, let's see what this is. Just a 5 air upgrade, nothing important. Okay, Ninban, where are you going now after this if you don't find your bombos?
Oh!
There it is! So Ninban is in go mode at this point. He is not going to... He's going to be doing Master Sword Ganon. He will not see any of the other swords at this point. But even thinking about going Master Sword with the plays he's made, you have to think that he's feeling probably very good right now.
Oh, definitely. A lot of confidence here with this runner. Looks like he's probably going to go pick up some potions real quick before making that trek up Death Mountain.
Yeah, as you know, no powder. You don't have Burna or Cape, so you have really your only safeties are going to be those potions. Have to imagine as well, Chisame probably, after this purple chest, is going to get Ice Rod as well. Five, 6 crystals were Tower of Hera and Ice Palace. But But yeah, Furame and Dr. Bobtastic both in Ice Palace, so they'll be able to go get their Bombos if they do this right after. Chisame getting the Ice Rod right now. Yeah, and just because we don't know about the other 57 racers at this point, how they're doing anything like that, but just between the 4 races we can watch, Ninban at this point has a very considerable lead, has a full dungeon pretty much ahead of people. The difference between Tempered and Masteroid, yes, his Ganon fight is going to be a bit slower, but not even close to the distance between the 4 runners right now. And Turtle Rock is going to open up, and we're going to get a Go Mode Turtle Rock.
We'll get to see how well Ninban can navigate the hazards in here and try to get through as quickly as possible. Granted, Turtle Rock in Go Mode is not too much different from just normal Turtle Rock. And with him just having that Master Sword, Trinex will still be somewhat interesting to see.
Yeah, the only times really that a Go Mode Turtle Rock saves you time is if, in one case, you do find an early big key there, because you can't steal the key from the Pokey, which could potentially, if you find some extra keys, let you skip Laser Bridge.
Yeah, and if you find the early big key, as Ninban just did, just like Sir Link just mentioned, there is a chance to pretty much just avoid one room in particular, and one which essentially amounts to 2 transitions. So it saves a little bit of time. And also, if the gamble does pay off with the small key, then you can completely ignore Laser Bridge.
Yep, and every runner, if they're in Go Mode here, they will not complain about not having to go to that room.
Cop Dog, it's actually not just 4 players in this. There is a total of, I believe, 61, is what you said?
Yep, 61 entrants, I believe, was the final count when we got started. It's just we can only feature 4 of them. I wouldn't even want to imagine what the screen would look like if we had 61 runners on screen.
My brain would explode. And Cadillac King, thank you for the bits. You're a wonderful, wonderful person. Thank you for the support.
Yes, get Coop. Dr. Bob does not have boots. We're not sure what happened, but they are in the Thieves Town big chest. And Dr. Bob, we're not sure if it was item miscount, just gambled that nothing was there, and that's kind of how he's going through it. That's kind of what's going on right now with him. Okay, so Chad did ask, we'll bring it up, don't put your guesses in now, but we're going to do the big key guessing game as far as you can guess in chat. We're not going to be doing the commands because that is for the tournament only that's going on right now. So still do that. There's just no leaderboards, no anything behind it, just for fun.
That is correct. And real quick, RV Louie, thank you very much for the subscription. Always appreciated.
All right, and Furame about to get his Ice Rod here. Ninban stealing the key from the Pokey there, making his way through the rest of Turtle Rock here.
All right, Furame got that Ice Rod, and now let's just keep fingers crossed that they go grab that big bomb and grab the Bombos medallion.
Yeah, and I would almost imagine you're going to do that before dipping Swamp Palace, and looks like that's... Oh, yep, looks like that's what he's going to do. So you need to find a key. There's the key. Laser Bridge can be skipped.
Beautiful.
Right, just checking that. At this point, you're going to see Ninban probably check chests that are considered on the way, looking for a sword. We know he won't find it, but he doesn't know that, so he's going to be checking.
And for all he knows, he's gambling sword upgrade in Ganon's Tower, which is an upgrade that's not gonna be there, sadly.
No, I mean, usually it's a good chance that if you're sitting a master sword that you're going to find a sword there, depending on big key placement. But in this case, we know the swords are sitting in the Mire Shed and on the Witch's Hut with the mushroom.
Looks like he's gonna chance Laser Bridge, hoping for that sword. I mean, with the mirror shield, it's not too hazardous to do.
No, and I think that might be what he's thinking about. It's like, this isn't going to take me too much time to check. And if it's here, it's going to probably save me the time. Especially, you know, you still got to fight Trinex, so it'll help there. But unfortunately, like we just said, nothing there is not going to take safety door. And Farame, you know, did do the big bomb right away, so Farame also in go mode now, going up to Turtle Rock. About the, you know, a dungeon behind Ninban.
Now here's the thing, I don't believe Ninban grabbed the safety door at the end of Laser Bridge, and he's looking pretty low. Now, he does have blue potions, so I'm sure he'll be safe here, but Trinex also still hurts even in red mail.
Yeah, can survive, I believe, one hit, but yeah, did not take the safety door. Gonna have to be careful here. There's one of them.
If I were him, I'd go ahead and pop that potion to be safe.
Yeah, I think he wants to try to take one hit out, and because he's trying to conserve the magic too is the main thing. Yep, there he goes. Just to be safe. Don't want to take a death there.
I was getting nervous for him. I'm sitting there like, please, Ninban, don't do this.
Yep, but alright, we've got Cold Stare went down on both Dr. Bobtastic's side as well as Chisame. Very low on magic. Oh, down he goes though. The last bit of magic. I think I had one more blue potion though, so would have had to use that, but probably wants to save that for Ganon's Tower just in case.
Definitely.
Alright, got a spin with the Master Sword, a couple hammer strikes, another one, I believe one more will do him in. Yep, down goes Trinex.
Very well done.
And Trinex is going to drop the shovel. And more importantly, crystal number 7.
Ninban's next stop is going to be GT.
Yep, so like we said, chat, we are going to play the game. It's not going to be in the commands, but that is crystal number 7 for Ninban. So, if you'd like to guess where Ganon's Tower Big Key is, go ahead, get your guesses in now before Ninban gets to Ganon's Tower. Get your guess in anywhere between 1 and 22. Oh, and Chisame going for a bomb dupe, it looks like. And it looks like he would get it. Yep, did get it.
Nice. And in honor of one of our runners here, Dr. Bobtastic, the number escapes me right now. I believe it's 14, but Bob's Ferry is going to be my personal guess.
Yeah, and I believe it also depends on routing if, you know, you go full left side or right side first. So, but Chisame gets bombos, isn't even going to check the other chests. Nothing you're looking for at this point. It's going to go into go mode, and we'll immediately head to Turtle Rock. But nothing on the torch, looks like. Not a big key, at least. So that's going to be 1 for us. Going to have 2 through 5 here. 2 is big 20. We've got another small key in chest number 3. 4 is also a small key. And there it is, chest number 5.
Number 5 has it. Let's see here. I'll at the very least give him a little shout out. Let's see who guessed 5.
Yep, looks like we did have it. It looks like Cyrax D, guess number 5, successfully.
Good job, Cyrax D. You are a psychic.
Alright, but with that, Ninban is going to make his way up Ganon Tower, about to enter the gauntlet, and his question in chat was Desert Boots locked? Yes, it was indeed boots locked.
Yeah, Bob is wandering around going, where's my boots? Where's my boots? And he's going to be checking various overworld locations like Jeremiah here, and he's just going to be disappointed all around, sadly. Because, yeah, those boots are planted firmly in Thieves Town in the big chest.
Yep, and do apologize, I did miss you, but Akamitsuki666 also did successfully guess number 5. So, had 2 people successfully guess that today. But Farame, in this case, is going to skip Laser Bridge. Nothing that he is looking for. Is going to immediately go to Trinex. We'll have probably a much easier fight with that Butter Sword.
Ninban having a little bit of trouble in this room of the gauntlets. And to be fair, these conveyor belts and BMOSs can be quite the thorn in people's side.
Yeah, I think these 2 rooms are my least favorite of all of the gauntlet rooms here.
Actually, the room that Ninban's in right now is my least favorite, because I always seem to just be sliding around uselessly, getting beamed in the back of the head.
Alright, where Ninban is on the Landmolus refight, misses the first arrow, and that other one just barely missed the third one.
Still gets 2 down in the first cycle, and the last one in the second cycle, so good job, Ninban, on a fairly clean Landmola 2.
Yep, and Farame takes down Trinex. It's about to pick up their Crystal 7. Chisame is continuing through it, and I will update chat so far. Out of the 61 runners, nobody has finished yet, so we do not have a first place as of yet. Dr. Bob going to check hammer pegs in the purple chest. Still on the hunt for those boots.
Now, one thing I have noticed is Chisame is, of course, clearing Turtle Rock, but I still can't help but notice that Ice Palace is not complete on their tracker, and I don't remember seeing them in Ice Palace. It is curious that they're clearing Turtle Rock before Ice Palace.
No, they did get to clear on Ice Palace. Pretty much Dr. Bobtastic and Chisame killed Colser pretty much within like 10 seconds of each other.
Okay, good, good. I'm glad. I'm just not paying attention. Good.
Yeah, I know the trackers that we use, sometimes it refreshes when we click on something, so it eats the clicks. It does happen, and we think it got clicked, and it doesn't. But Farame enters Ganon's Tower, is also going to immediately go left side. It's going to skip the right side. He's going to be rewarded with that big key in chests 2 through 5. We'll see which order he opens. Ninban, on the other hand, is at Troll Dorm 2. And down he goes.
Now, despite the rather impressive lead that Ninban has, still don't necessarily want to call it immediately, because there is always a chance of a Ganon fall, and now I would not wish that upon anyone by all means, but it does happen from time to time. So we'll see how it goes. Considering Ninman's going to take some extra special care with those charged swings to Ganon.
Yeah, and right now has to be careful here. Has a blue potion, probably wants to save it for Ganon. But at 3.5 hearts, you do not want to take a death here at Ega 2.
Definitely not.
I believe we've gotten a 2-on-1, so I think 2 more balls.
Yep, there it was. So 2-1-1-2. Pretty good Aga 2 fight.
Yep. Good solid Aga 2 fight. Chisame about to start the Trinex fight, and Farame making his way up Ganon's tower himself now.
With Buttersword, Chisame is making mincemeat of Trinex. This is a thing of beauty. Learning a little bit about snails today, are we?
Yep, and Ninban takes a hit from that trident down to a heart and a half. Almost got clipped by
that.
That looked
Was
like.
very, very close.
So as far as Ganon, it does take 12 spins in both phase 1 and 2. It's going to be 4 spins. Ooh, that's the best placement you can have. Alright, and so while Ninban's working on it, it looks like we actually did have our first finish with DKS 89 finishing at 1 hour 27 minutes and 11 seconds.
Very well done. And here's where slow and steady wins the race for Ninban. As long as he takes special care not to fall off the edge, this is his race to lose right now.
Yep, just got to get 2 more spins in here. And looks like Dr. Bobtastic is making the play, so it does remember that he forgot something in Thieves Town.
I can imagine how frustrating it's probably going to be for him when he sees what is waiting down in the depths below.
Yep, for sure. And all right, so phase 4 got 1 of those silver arrows. Need 3 more. And oh, looks like he missed that.
And there it is.
Yep. Down goes Ganon for Ninban.
And we'll see Ninban's final time here in just a moment. Looks like he's going to finish with a 1:28:30 official SRL time. Everybody give it up for Ninban. It was a great job, great run from him. And we'll get him in here in just a little bit.
Yep, get your GGs in there. Dr. Bob gets his boots. And Farame takes on Aga 2, is about to enter his Ganon fight. And Dr. Bobtastic is going to check some mirror locations at this point. Chisame making his way up Ganon's tower. All right, and let's see. Okay. All right, and we are getting some finishes. Fast and Furious. Looks like we've got Korek is going to finish in 3rd place. INC None is going to finish in 4th place, and we've got Files in 5th place right now.
And looks like Ninban is ready to go ahead and pop on in and join us for an interview. So let's get him on in here. Ninban, welcome and congratulations on the run.
Thank you. So, how many warps was that? It was a bit stupid.
That was a little bit of a crazy run there, and what is the most interesting is you were the only person on Restream to be going at this with a Master Sword. Everyone else either had tempered or buttered. Because
Where?
one upgrade was in Meyer Shed, and the other one was from the Mushroom and Potion Shop. The Mushroom was in Checkerboard Cave. So literally the Misery Mire area held the other two sword upgrades.
Wow, that's amazing. And I never activated the flute.
Well, on a side note, looks like we did have Farame finish up with an official time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 59 seconds. He is in 6th place, and we also had Buane finish up in 7th place.
A fierce race from everybody, and of course Shisame here is about to head into Aga 2 any minute now. And Dr. Bob Tastic, of course, finishing up Desert Palace after going back and grabbing those much-needed boots. So, Ninban, what did you think of the run in general?
I liked it. I only went to this mountain like an hour in, and I did pretty much everything else in Hyrule with no sword, since the first 2 swords were on Death Mountain. And it felt pretty good, especially my Ice Palace. I really liked it.
There were definitely some clutch moments in there that I was quite worried for your survival. You narrowly missing that trident throw at the end there with only a heart and a half left definitely was one of them.
Yeah. When I saw that I had 1.5 left, I did quick maths and I knew that if I got hit another time, I was done for. So I just took that blue potion. So that was the awkward pose of do I potion or not. I just did quick maths.
All right. One thing I always like to ask people I get to interview for these delightful races, overall throughout the entire run, what segment got you the most excited? What item pickup or what moment in the run did you enjoy the most?
Maybe because it was the most ancient moment, but getting the ice rod on the Bombos tablet after forgetting to check it when I should have checked it with the launch box. And then right after that, getting Bombos in Pyramid Ferry. That was a pretty nice moment because I had planned to go in Hyrule Castle after the ferry. So that would have set me back a couple of minutes. And then also there's all these little things like finding the myths in the Skullwoods because I didn't have a sword and I didn't want to lift all these bushes just to get to Thieves Town. So yeah.
And Shisame looking like they are about to finish off Ganon with a double. Very, very nice. Very well done from Shisame.
Yep. Get your GGs in chat for Chisame. And with that, looks like we had somebody finish right before Chisame. We had Cyclone finish in 8th. Chisame is going to finish in 9th with a 1 hour, 34 minutes, 29 seconds. And Dr. Bob Tastic is going to take down the Landmolas.
And be off to Turtle Rock soon afterwards.
Looks like, according to the tracker, he's still missing Bombo, so he's going to need to check the Pyramid Ferry still.
Oh, that is right. He does need to do that. For some reason, I thought he was all ripped and ready to go.
All right, in the meantime, we're watching Dr. Bob. Looks like he is going to make that check on the Fat Fairy. We'll get the Bombos and be in go mode. We did have Mikan finish in 10th place.
And hopefully we'll be getting Shisame in here shortly for their input on what transpired here.
Yep, looks like we actually have Chisame on the waiting room. We're going to go ahead and bring him in. Firame will not be joining us for an interview, we were told. He did decline that, so we'll have get Chisame in here, though.
Shisame, welcome to the finish line. How you doing? Well, looks like some slight technical difficulties. We will get back to that in just a moment. In the meantime, watch as Dr. Bobtastic here flies up the mountainside with that beautiful speed glitch there. Wonderful.
Yep,
Yeah,
nice. Oh, there's Chisame.
Sorry about that. GG's, guys.
Hey, GG.
So, please don't pay attention to my awful pod. That death was a bit embarrassing there. Took a bit too long to find ice rod. No, the mitts. The ice rod wasn't too bad, but man, that seed.
As far as the pod went, though, I am honestly drawing a blank on that. There was a lot of stuff happening at that time, so I may have in fact missed that.
I died trying to get the item in the big chest. I dropped 2 bombs, and then I tried to open the chest, but I picked up both of the bombs.
I do remember that. At first, I thought you had just forgot the big key and were just death warping, and then I realized, oh no, as you were going back, you did have the big key, you didn't mean to blow yourself up.
one too many taps there.
Perfectly reasonable mistake. Perfectly reasonable.
But yeah, those mitts and Skullwoods, that was the death of me.
Yeah, I mean, as far as, our restreams, before we could see, you were actually the first one to go to Desert, because you went to Desert fairly early compared to everybody else, but I just kind of kept you away from Skullwoods where those Titans were hiding.
I've been gambling pendant Skullwoods not having anything. I don't know, it's like left side, it feels like left side swamp to me. You just want to skip those 2 items most of the time, but sometimes you get punished. If anyone skipped Ice Rod Cave for a while, there's the hammer.
Now, luckily, it did seem that for the most part, people may have overlooked some things here and there, but they went back and got them fairly quickly. The only exception to that being, sadly, Dr. Bobtastic did overlook the big chest in Thieves Town and didn't get the boots actually until I want to say about 15 minutes ago.
Ooh, unfortunate.
Yeah, so that was the only really painful one. But right now, Dr. Bobtastic is making his way through Turtle Rock, narrowly avoiding some Jane Chomps there.
Yeah, it just sneaks by, and in the past few minutes we've actually had quite a few finishers. Let's see, we had Haha Sail finish in 11th, had Fajita Knight finish 12th, Sea Falcon finished 13th, Hitsuyan finished 14th. Let's see, anybody else? Yep, got LT Gray in 15th, Dark Shadows 59 in 16th, Adirondack Rick 17th, One Up 40 in 18th, and that's all we've gotten for finishes so far.
Out of 61 racers total, though, I mean, we're seeing quite a few sub 2-hour finishes for this. This was definitely a quick seed. And luckily, really, from what I noticed, it didn't have that nice little V29 curse of hunt forever for the final item. Everything did kind of seem to fall into place rather well.
Yeah, it really would have depended on if you decided to gamble some pendant dungeons rather than check some overworld locations. That would have been the main thing, because nobody wants to go inside of a pendant swamp, but when it's 7 items, kind of hard to say no sometimes.
Was completely ready to go into Pendant Swamp if Bombos wasn't at Fat Ferry.
Yeah, I believe the only other pendant dip we saw was Dr. Bob-tastic going into Meyer, I believe, was really the only other one, besides, of course, Skullwoods, which was necessary to get those mitts.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Had quite a few more finishes just in the last moment. We had Frostbite 3030 finish 19th, Athelius 20th, Plasma Kappa 21st, Matt 7898 in 22nd, and that's it so far. So still got about 39 runners going.
Dr. Bob-tastic there opting to drink his blue goo a little bit early just so he can make sure he can survive getting knocked around by these delightful little what are these called again exactly? I just can't help but think of Mario when I see them.
Yep, fire bars.
But yeah, Shisame, one thing I did ask Ninbon, I wanted to also throw it at you. What would you say, your favorite part of this entire seed slash run, or better yet, a pickup or a thing that happened that really got you excited?
Yeah, that hammer in Ice Rock Cave, I know a lot of people tend to skip it, especially in our situation where we had the Moon Pearl and we had, I think, like 900 rupees or like 1,000 rupees leaving CAC. I know a lot of people like the Fate Flippers. That's what, 5 items plus 1 that they can, 2 that they can scout. So seeing that hammer there felt pretty good.
Oh, I bet. The thing is, though, actually, all the rupees were in Mini Molderm. Leaving CAC, everyone was still pretty broke. And the thing is, we had a lot of people, I believe, had half the runners go eastern instead of South Shore. And so they were still broke. And the thing is, going Mini Molderm and getting all those, what we were concerned about is the people that went eastern area first, they got the flippers. And then they go and check South Shore and they get the rupees. Then it just, obviously, go see Mr. Zora, who's in the end not going to give you anything but a bottle.
That sounds like me.
I wasn't naming names here.
It was funny seeing a bottle on Zora and Catfish. I think they were both Bs.
Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, but both Zora and Catfish gave B bottles. That's kind of funny.
They're in cahoots with each other.
We find out the twisted truth that the Catfish is actually the Dark World version of King Zora.
All right, let's see. Had some more finishers over the past few minutes. We had Firewood King finish 23rd, Chloe Prower in 24th, had Ravis 10 in 25th, Nifboy in 26th, JR Jathom in 27th, Duckatron in 28th, GFE 12 and 29th, P-Train 24 and 30th. And that's so far what we are at. It looks like 2 or 3 of the runners unfortunately have forfeited at this point, but still got about 25 or so people running. And Dr. Bob Tastic about to get his big key right there.
And we'll see just about how well good old Bob's gauntlet is going to go. I wish upon him a smooth gauntlet.
Yeah, I think the seed has gotten Dr. Bob Tastic enough with the boots. Just a nice smooth finish for Dr. Bob. That's all we can hope for now.
As long as this gauntlet does bode well for him, with tempered, Ganon should pose very little issue, and it should be a fairly smooth finish.
Yeah, question in chat, are Ganon warps constant like Ego 1 blue balling people? Yes, unless you take a fall. If you take a fall or die to Ganon after the warps start, then it does change at that point. But let's see, how did some more people finish? Had Fife4 in 31st, Truzzle in 32nd, Chidaru in 33rd. All within about 11 seconds of each other.
And one pleasant side effect of the extra amount of warps that Ganon seemed to have had with Nanban doing Master Sword gave him plenty of time to get that charged up for the swing.
But Dr. Bob Tastic making pretty quick work of the gauntlet there. It's on the Landmolus 2 fight. Not getting any in the first cycle. Got one there. And going for the second one, but hits the third instead. Still going to take it. And then down goes the third one. And Dr. Bob Tastic gets the quad kill on the Wizrobes there.
Getting bullied a little bit by those pigmen, minotaurs. I'm not sure what those things are. Moblins?
I believe they would. No, I don't think they are. Well, yeah, they would be Moblins, I believe, actually.
I'm always a little bit confused by the names of various enemies because I know certain Zelda games have very unique ones. There are some older Zelda enemies that have not. Oh, Dr. Bob takes a fall. But there are older enemies that don't return in later installments. It seems like I'm always bad with the pronunciation here. What are they called? Darias? I forget what they're exactly called, but. The alligator guys in Zelda 2.
Yep. But yeah, as far as the fall Dr. Bob took, was actually on purpose. He ran out of magic, so he couldn't light all the torches. So he fell to go ahead and grab that magic pot.
I did not notice. Thank you for correcting me there.
That fall, on the other hand, Trolldorm is going to get his at some point.
Yeah, Trolldurm was relatively nice to everyone, both in Hera and GT. The entire run, gotta be mean sometime.
Oh, well, it's Dr. Bob's trying to do some hovering, it looks like.
Hey, if you're gonna finish late, might as well finish late in style.
Alright, now he's going to take care of Trolldorm the intended way. But had a couple more finishes. Looks like Dragon Strike 1988 is going to finish in 34th place. We had... somebody else did. Sinums finished in 35th, and Nakanashi finished in 36th. And Dr. Bob going to start his Aga 2 fight.
Ooh, I believe that was a triple.
I believe it was. Maybe two of them got stuck.
Nope, it looked like it was a triple.
Yep, that was triple. So 2-3-1 for Dr. Bob.
And the dancing Ganondorf there definitely seems happy about it.
And then Ganondorf is going to be off to the fight to prove that there can be only one Ganon.
My money's on Bob.
Yeah, I have a feeling Bob is going to win. Alright, and Bob drops down and starts his Ganon fight.
Bonne nuit.
Oh, sorry, what was that? Do believe Ninban is heading out for the evening, so thank you very much, Ninban, for chilling with us tonight, and GG on the race.
GG. Thanks for running. Dr. Bobtastic, a couple more hits is going to take us to phase 4 here. And there is the final hit. Dr. Bob is going into phase 4. 4 silver arrows here. There's the first one. Is going to miss the torch glitch for that, but gets the second silver arrow.
Ooh, that was really way too close.
Yeah, so if you aren't holding a direction when you get hit by those fire bats, it just won't send you in any direction. So good on Dr. Bob to realize that and just kind of let go of the direction.
I could see what he was going for there. He was trying to hit him from the side so he could shoot to the right and try to get a double. But yeah, that bat caught him at the last one. But luckily, he had dropped input.
Yep, thankfully. So it didn't take that fall, but down he goes. We'll go through some finishes. We had about 5 of them, it looks like. All right, so we have Shaggy Roger finishing 37th, Apathy Duck in 38th, Recidador in 39th, and then Dr. Bobtastic is going to finish 40th with the 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 57 seconds. See if we can get him in here for an interview. All right, looks like he will be joining us. We've got him in the ready room. We're going to go ahead and bring him in.
So,
Welcome, welcome, Dr. Bob-tastic, and congratulations on the finish. While yes, we understand you came in fourth, that was still a heck of a show you put on.
well, let me say, I actually feel reasonably okay about this, and I'll tell you why. Because even with my massive Category 5 derp, I still managed to get under 2 hours, so...
I mean, absolutely. You were doing, you did very well as far as getting everything else. It's just those darn boots. What exactly happened? Because you did Thieves Town.
Yeah, I did all of Thieves Town. I went all the way through it, and then I just completely spaced on the big chest. I was just like, I was sitting, my brain was really focusing on how I was going to beat blind here in a bit, and I just completely spaced on it. And so, my blind kill was pretty cool, but at the same time, I left the boots in the big chest, and that was, the end of it.
Yeah, because I believe you were either the first or the second of our restreamed racers to do Thieves Town. And actually, the thing is, me and Sir Link didn't even notice until I believe it was Ninban had gone through. And we realized Ninban had boots and you didn't. And chat had to tell us, like, oh yeah, boots were in the big chest. Dr. Bob-tastic missed them. Was like, I'm sorry. Oh no. And I was just thinking, like, okay, maybe he's going to realize it soon. He'll realize it soon. Shisame forgot to go to Skullwoods and get the mitts. So y'all have to, there was more than one person had to go back. And Shisame went back and got the mitts. It's like, okay, any moment now, Dr. Bob's going to realize, hey, I completely forgot to grab the big chest in Thieves Town. And you're going to go back and get the boots. Didn't happen as early as we would have liked.
Yeah, I completely cleared every other possible thing that was available to me, and I checked the pedestal for no reason. And then I was like, okay, where in the world could I have possibly missed? And so I followed the Swag Duck's advice and fluted to 3. And then I was like, okay, where could it have been? Let's check Thieves Town. I walked inside, saw I had a small key, and I was like, oh no. Are you kidding me right now? So yeah.
But yeah, other than those boots, I feel you did very, very well.
Yeah, and I think
on keeping pace.
I feel like if I had picked up the boots, I would have finished in a relatively competitive spot.
I have no doubt about it. But what I ask some of our other contenders that we interviewed here, and what I do enjoy asking people when I get the chance to in these delightful races, what was your favorite part of this seed, or perhaps the one thing or pickup that happened that got you the most excited?
Well, I mean, I think so. Couple things. One, I loved being able to do the cane strats on blind just because it's fun. And two, the finding the ice rod on Bombo's tablet without going into Swamp, because Swamp was my next play after Desert, and I was just like, no. And then I realized that after Desert I could go to Pyramid Fairy, so I did that first, and not having to do Swamp feels pretty good.
Yeah, as we mentioned several times throughout the run here, having to dip into those pendant dungeons is really one of the last things you want to do. And it was bad enough that we had to do Skull Woods for the mitts. Swamp and Mire were definitely not things that would have been fun to do.
Yeah, Swamp and Mire were... Well, I did Mire.
Yes, I didn't want to point that out while you were here.
No. I actually liked my play into Mire at the time because, no boots, but I'm here and might as well. I was thinking maybe the mirror's in there or something. And the other thing So the Pyramid Fairy play, the other thing I can base that on is that I kind of have this theory about it being slightly more likely to be behind Ice Palace, because it's the other thing that can lock Ice Palace. So once you found the Fire Rod, it's a little more likely that it's over in Bombos is over in Ice, and Ice was one of the 5/6s. So there you go. So
Overall,
nobody really got to go mode Ice Palace.
I don't believe so.
No, you wouldn't have Bombos until you finished it. So yeah.
Yeah, none of the restreamed racers, they all full cleared. So can't say anybody that maybe just gambled, I'm just going to run through Ice Palace and hope nothing's there, but possible, but we don't know.
All right. So that was a thing, and I enjoyed it, and maybe the next time that I'm featured ever, I will not derp all over the screen, and we'll have a decent race.
Well, regardless, it was entertaining all the way to the bitter end, and I, for one, enjoyed it. So, Link, you have anything else to add or inquire?
No, not as far as that. Just enjoyed watching all 4 runners calling, the return of the daily races. So that was hype in itself.
It's been an amazing day for it. And just once again, want to give a huge shout out to Merc249 and B-Links for tracking this insane race. Literally, all 4 runners went their own way, and it was pure chaos for them, I'm sure, to track this.
Yeah, that's what you can get in open. Standard, you typically, you have the same opening and you have the same items, so sometimes routing just kind of stays the same throughout the entire seed, but open mode can throw right from the get-go just different routes for the whole game pretty much up until Ganon's Tower.
Absolutely. But I think this was a pretty darn interesting way to kick off the evening of the first day of dailies returning to speed gaming, and it has been a blast. I want to sincerely thank my co-commentator here, Sir Linkalot777. He was awesome to commentate with. Thank you, man.
Yeah, it was a great commentating with you, Zombie. Had a blast. Hoping to do more of these daily races in the future if I'm not going to run them myself. So I kind of had to fight with myself. It's like, do I want to join this or do I want to commentate it? But I decided I want to go for the commentary in the first one.
I did about the same. And of course, our 4 racers there are linked in the chat. Shisame, Faraime, Dr. Bobtastic, and Ninbon. Follow them. They're amazing, entertaining runners, and they definitely deserve all the love in the world for being here for our entertainment this evening. And also just a link for the trackers and my co-commentator here, Sir Linkalot. Follow them as well. They're amazing people. And yeah, any closing words there, Sir Linkalot? Dr. Bobtastic? Either you?
No, thanks a lot. I'm glad to see the dailies come back.